All right, welcome to another beautiful night here at the We the People Podcast Network, where we bring forth the greatest podcast ever here at Politically Correcting Podcast with myself, Jose Pio, my co-host Lavelle, and Dan from the streets. What up, guys?
Good.
I don't have a mic yet.
He was trying to let you go first.
It finally came in because it didn't catch Strizzies.
Strizzies.
Dan from the Strizzies.
That's right. So I appreciate you guys coming on the show as always and being on this ship with me as we cruise into the world of creating the best.
You cannot say ship in Black History Month.
Why?
Oh my God.
I'm going all in. See,
What if you meant a rocket ship?
I'm going to be what the narrative is supposed to be for this month.
Dang, we didn't even cheers.
Words. We're eliminating words yet. Oh, my bad.
I didn't have a full sentence.
Let's cheers first. Yo, I come in with that angst sometimes.
Come with that heat.
It's a lot of stuff going on in this world.
Man, all right. Let's take a
doing nothing for the stereotype over there, as I tell you all the time.
Jeez. I heard about, before I say that, as welcome you to today's Politically Podcast. Politically Correcting Podcast, where we always share a drink amongst friends, have an open dialogue amongst friends, and change the world.
In a country where a Crip can Crip walk on the 50-yard line in the Super Bowl. And no one bats an eye.
Well, it's in LA. Come on.
It's in LA. Yo, it's just shit I be thinking about. I'll be like, yo, wait a minute. They just allowed this.
You messed up my whole game plan. This is jumping to the Super Bowl. Forget it. Just jump into the Super Bowl. Well, I'm gonna have to work backwards and then back around.
Yo, my man. I just love this show.
It was a terrible halftime show.
Yeah, I agree. And Austin told me that we were the only two people that he's heard of that disliked it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I said.
First of all, they brought 50 Cent in, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
I did not mean that to be a.
You know why it doesn't? You know why it makes sense? Because he's got to get that money.
He does got to get that money, which he does.
They got to dance for.
Well, he's got high taxes now.
Ooh, this is not the appropriate cut for
this. They got to tap dance for the master.
Right? Why didn't they bring Cube?
Because he's not a part of the.
Why wasn't there a hologram of Tupac?
There was.
There wasn't. Why wasn't there?
Okay, I saw a total of 5 minutes of the Super Bowl.
Good for you.
But I saw the highlights, and all I saw was Snoop Dogg Crip it. How do you wait?
Spot on, right? Spot on. You're spot on as always.
There was so many different narratives that came out of the Super Bowl. Like, okay, the Eminem kneel. All of a sudden, it was racial reconciliation.
How do you feel about his kneel?
And I didn't give a damn. I didn't give a fuck. I'm tired of people kneeling. That's no different than Nancy Pelosi kneeling and Chuck Schumer kneeling.
Why you got a problem with Eminem praying?
I thought he was trying to do like the Michael Jackson "I'm crying for the world" thing, but
I don't know.
I didn't even realize he was kneeling for.
I don't know.
I didn't know.
He be trying to get so like he is literally the epitome of white guilt. I'm a good white rapper, and I just want you guys to know,
Lindsay,
I don't want to say I'm the best rapper of all time because I'm white. I'm just gonna stay in 5th place behind Jay-Z,
everyone that's worse than me,
everyone else.
Yeah,
I think Eminem is a amazing lyricist. Period.
Oh, he's amazing lyricist and rapper. Because you can be an amazing lyricist and not rap.
Right.
You can do poetry.
But I mean, that's
like
what
Tupac.
it is, right?
Tupac was a great poet and lyricist and rapper.
And he would give Eminem crazy props.
Right.
So,
maybe he's humble.
I was thinking like Edgar Allan Poe. Like, man,
I know. No one was thinking that. No one was thinking that.
Man,
he's fire.
We're not talking about that type
You read
of lyrics,
The Raven?
Man, I mean, we know the big, come on. Dan, guys.
Nevermore.
Makes sense.
We know
these two.
We know they got, extraordinary vocabulary because that's what you need to be a great lyricist. We're talking about, dumbed down poets of today.
Well, do you see how many, jumping off the Edgar Allan Poe, did you see how many people were maskless at that Super Bowl while California is in complete mask lockdown?
But don't they all got vaccinations too, though?
Don't make excuses.
Oh.
Their kids had to go to school the next day in masks.
Right.
There's also over 150 plus private airplanes that left within 5 hours after the Super Bowl. Greenhouse gases.
Why are we still? I'm sorry. I'm just.
Well, it's because they're celebrities.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I know the answer.
I'm trying to clean.
But at
up.
some point, we have to understand this is hypocrisy. When we can see someone, so many rich people up there, mask free, holding their breath the entire time, obviously.
Yep.
And yet our kids go to school the next day, maintaining their 6 feet distance, can't even play tag during lunch. It just blows my mind. Speaking of, COVID, let's go into what Miss New York Governor Hochul decided to do. Hochul extends New York's COVID state of emergency into March with cases dropping.
What
emergency are we talking about here?
Oh my gosh, the emergency of just losing control over the fucking slaves. Listen, let's just be direct. If you comply and you want to wear a mask and everywhere you go, you are a slave. There's no other way to slice it. To our system, to our government.
Okay.
If we want to talk about systemic something, this is systemically, like, literally done purposely.
But I think it's so much worse than that, because there is an assembly, New York State Assembly, that is supposed to create legislation for this. She continues to bypass New York State Assembly to create her own laws and give herself emergency powers into March. This is giving herself more powers, unlimited powers, and extending it.
There's somebody above that hoe, number one. And number two, didn't they just deem it, the Supreme Court just say it was unconstitutional any motherfucking way?
Yes, but the state does regulate schools.
So is she doing the Biden thing with the rent moratorium? That, it's unconstitutional, but it'll take them a little while.
No, I think the eviction moratorium has been lifted.
Oh, that was that was deemed unconstitutional, but they were kicking.
Oh yeah, we know it's illegal, but we're just gonna go ahead and do it anyways.
Just move the goalposts.
That's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, laws don't matter anymore. How to create them doesn't matter anymore. Speaking of that, let's bring up our weekly trucker update with Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister, who decides. Nope. Other one. Nope, not that one yet. Dang. We can get into that one, but
we get into everything.
Don't get into that one quite yet.
We get into the nitty gritty.
Trudeau decided he's going to enact emergency powers. Once Austin pulls up the thing here, he's going to enact emergency powers for the first time since his daddy did it in like 1980. His daddy was prime minister. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it's first time in peaceful history. I'm sorry, second time in peaceful history that they did it, and it was his dad that did it last time.
I honestly thought Canadians were like really tough.
No, you know what Canadians were? They used to be the hardest to anger people ever. You go up to Toronto, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
You could step on their shoes and they'd be like, "Oh, sorry."
that was a much better.
That's a good one.
The fact that they're angry enough to do this now.
Freedom Convoy one.
That's gotta say something.
Yep, that first one, Austin.
Yo.
Oh, sorry, mate. They're also Australian. You didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either.
So they got so much. You can't go to Montreal.
But there's so much space in Canada. Like no one knows anything above fucking.
It's cold up there, man.
Ottawa, right? Like
I don't even know where Ottawa is. I have no clue.
You hear Ottawa all over the place, right?
Thanks.
There's the article.
Vancouver,
Thanks what?
West Irondequoit School District.
Yeah, history and geography and science. I don't know numbers and math.
Well, you don't need
finance.
You don't need to know science. You just need to know the science.
I don't need to know any of it.
Wow.
Freedom Convoy. Trudeau declares emergency just hours after Ontario announces end to vaccine passports.
Yo, I've never seen anybody with the biggest like side bang ever in life. Like zoom on his if you can zoom in on his fucking head.
Well, look
at that side bang,
Justin
dog.
Bieber is like from Canada.
That shit look like
your boy.
So is Brian Adams.
Yo, look at that mullet. He has a side mullet.
All right.
Lavelle's on about the mullet.
Right.
It's about the looks, man. If they look like a clown, No, it's not a mullet. I'm talking. It's
Canadian
a side mullet. Like it's all on one side. I've never seen that much. Yo, he definitely has a couple in his back pocket.
You can't say it because Clay's here.
I
Let's go on to what the truckers are having a hard time doing. So the Bitcoin one. This is where Bitcoin needs to excel right here. This is where they should show up to say, Bitcoin, this is why we are the next iteration of finance. Because when Trudeau blocked the $10 million to go to the truckers, or I'm sorry, when GoFundMe blocked the $10 million, giving back their money, they said, you know what? Pay them in Bitcoin. We'll get them to Bitcoin. This is where Bitcoin should be flourishing. It says Freedom Convoy truckers struggle to cash out Bitcoin worth $1 million. This is the problem right here, is that the average citizen, the average blue collar worker has no idea.
What the fuck is a Bitcoin?
They don't know what a Bitcoin is. They don't know how to access it.
It's a coin that somebody bit out of it.
How do I get my coin?
What can I buy with this?
How much coin is going to come in $1 million? A whole truck.
Slowly but surely it'll happen. But
but this is the time. If this were to show the true strength of Bitcoin, imagine what the value of Bitcoin is going to look like.
Because there's probably like some super like nerdy dude that's there to explain it to them, and they do like yo, dumb it down for me, dog. ATM balance.
Except now they said that they can start confiscating digital assets and Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, which the whole idea of crypto was that, so government can't get it. But now if they're going to get that,
they're trying to regulate it. Man.
This is how Bitcoin soars to the next level. If all these, exennials, millennials, the Generation Z, all the people that have been talking about Bitcoin for so long, if they can't show up right here, right now,
you know what they lack? They lack, number one, testicular fortitude and also knowledge of the Constitution. Well, the heads of this Bitcoin craze, the motherfuckers that was at the beginning, this should have been done. I mean, honestly, it really doesn't take much for anybody to just not recognize any form of currency and just do barter and trade all day. Like, fuck it. Fuck the government. We don't need you.
It's very easy to talk about, but
because
very difficult to actually enact.
It's not really if you just know the game. You're trading anyway. You're already
but it
trading.
has to be you knowing the game and the other person accepting your game.
Oh, hey, fuck. If you don't know, you don't know.
Hey, if you want to buy a house on cornrows and
you need toothpaste. I got a lot of toothpaste over there. You got that house.
So, and it's funny you brought up bartering because I think that's what we're going to eventually get back to.
Yeah.
Because if the government can seize now these cryptocurrencies and all the digital assets, the NFTs of the world,
I don't think they are going to. I don't think they're going to get away with it.
Oh no,
they already are.
But I own cryptocurrency with the belief that this shouldn't happen or can't happen.
Watch it. Yeah. You thought that.
Yeah. So if this happens, I'm gonna sit there like an asshole,
but still
with my Bitcoin in my hand.
Yeah, you better be watching that on the minute update.
Right, for real. Let me check it out right now. Let's see.
There are so many people doing barter and trading like now. They don't give a fuck what's going on. They really don't care because they really are. They feel that they're already ahead of the game. If anything happens to money itself, the value of the dollar is toilet paper anyway. At this point,
value of a dollar is toilet paper. Bitcoin's stable right now. Nothing happened in 24 hours.
We'll see.
Yep. Bring up Biden's Department of Energy pick just to talk about this real quick. It's not even really anything to talk about here.
What the fuck is that?
Biden, the president, taps LGBTQ activist drag queen for high-level position at the Office of Nuclear Energy.
Oh my God!
Mind you, look at that other picture. This gentleman here,
the person they got on their faces.
He's got a charging meter on top of his head.
Yo,
I guess so good for energy, right?
Scroll down because I believe it does say what this is about. Here.
That dude definitely has an ad on back page.
If that's what he goes by, he's into like dominating dog.
He goes by they them pronouns.
That's yeah.
It doesn't say that, but I've read about.
Oh, there he goes.
That was like Kurt Angle's son.
Pup fetishist, drag queen pup fetishist.
I don't know what that means.
That is our Deputy Assistant Secretary of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition.
Oh, so nuclear. Of nuclear
in
energy.
The Energy Department's Office of Nuclear Energy. Nuclear energy, which should be something we should be taking seriously.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying this person doesn't know though. Chernobyl. Yeah, that one.
That's the layman's.
1.
3 Mile Island.
Yeah, don't worry. No one can ever go back to that country.
One more thing before, and I always miss out on this last one. Clinton campaign. Do you see that they actually were found to have Clinton campaign paid to infiltrate Trump Tower, White House servers to link Trump to Russia. So they made up the story, or I'm sorry, they hacked the system. They got into it, both the White House and Trump Tower, and then lied about it to say that there was this Russia
collusion
that happened, that we were on Trump for his first year in office, and then come to find out it was Clinton campaign.
Can we just admit that any overused word that's circulated through the media comes from the left?
Yes, we can.
Russian collusion, fake news, Russian collusion. That's all we heard. Like these words were just rammed into our head right before they were setting up to infiltrate and do all this crazy shit.
I wish we could collude with Russia right now. I need my gas prices to go down.
I would like that.
I could take a mean tweet right now for some low gas prices.
I'm good, man.
Or just, open the Keystone Pipeline.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or give them back their jobs.
Yeah.
Give some vodka.
Jobs that he said he wasn't going to take away.
You know what? He made a lot of promises, didn't he? This is year 1. 81 million. Just saying.
What I'm just saying is everything that they said Trump was going to, or that was going to happen under Trump, happened under Biden.
Mm-hmm.
What they said was going to happen under Trump in the first year of Trump taking office has actually happened under Biden.
They asked Biden, what will you do if you were president? Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, just go to vote. Just vote. You vote. He's gone.
He's gonna shut down the virus.
He's not. He's bad, man. Wow. He's bad.
Who's bad? Corn Pop?
He's bad, man. Trump. He's not, man. People voted for him. They did it.
81 million.
81. Yo, look at yourselves in the mirror and slap yourself if you voted for him. Yo, this one Biden voter who hated Biden, knew all of Biden's track, but said, but just Trump, man. Trump, he just,
Yep.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just, what? Elaborate. He's just do too much.
You do too much. Speaking of doing too much, let's bring up this one article I have yet to bring up in past 2 weeks. I want to bring this up. The Denver business owner. It has gotten so bad in Denver that this business owner adds crime spike fee to offset losses from shoplifting. Did we not think this was going to happen? Like, do you think that these business owners are just going to go ahead and bend over and let you rake over them?
Hey, man's got to eat. He's got to feed
man's got to eat. Go ahead, add those costs. You know what's going to happen? Inflation.
Yeah. How dare he want to cover his kids' private schooling? How dare he wants to make sure his taxes are covered, his house is paid for, his fucking family can eat. How dare you do that?
No,
man?
Capitalism is evil.
It's evil. So just go and rob all of the businesses, the small business owners, the conglomerates. They can take those hits. Those are insurance write-offs. They don't give a damn.
Well, they were open during the entire pandemic. So
yeah, but they want to close them down now. They want to all be the next Amazon. We'll deliver your shit. So I got to pay nobody. We'll just pay you to warehouse it, deliver you some shit. You want that Gucci purse? It's going to go up even more. You never have to walk into the store because it's so racist.
Like Jim Jones.
So racist, Jim Jones. So racist. You rich freaking rapper can go into Gucci.
I haven't had a single manager come talk to me.
They ain't give me no
sparkling water.
No sparkling water. I got my ass showing in my tight ass jeans.
No.
Bowling.
What about that Rams player that got nosebleed seats and then he didn't take them? The
Rams player that got nosebleed seats?
Dog.
The retired one. I can't think of his name.
That's messed up.
Dog. Them tickets is
complained about it.
Them tickets is $10,000 a pop. You got the 401k plan. Rams is paying for your retirement.
You got
you get no love.
Well, let's bring in our esteemed guest here. I didn't want him waiting too long, but I'm sure he's got some things he wants to talk about here.
Do you know who Jim Jones is, sir?
Which Jim?
Let's bring in Clay Harris from Uniting and Healing Through Hope of Monroe County and pastors
shoot.
on patrol, right?
I'm light on a drink. I'm about to take a drink break.
Not an official member of Pastors on Point, but we are aligned with them because they have taken up the mantle to try to reach out to curb some of this violence and destruction.
What violence? What destruction that you speak of?
Burning up all over the country.
Yeah,
and
because
it's time for a change, and it's time for us to become more involved and to find solutions. So
now, when you say this, it's time for a change. What is it that change that you're looking for? What is this uniting and healing through Hope of Monroe County? That what is the work you're doing there that you think is bringing about that kind of change?
Well,
mind you, Clay and I worked together on this one Thanksgiving where you had over 800 bags of food.
Actually, more than that. It's well over 1,000, actually.
Over 1,000 bags of food. We had it out of RIT's convention center where we handed out.
It was amazing.
A ton of food.
Yeah, amazing.
Nice.
So it's a lot of outreach that we're trying to do to really unite and heal and bring together, because there's been so much division over the last 2 years with George Floyd and Daniel Prude. We are not as divided as the media and some folk would want to pretend we are as Americans and as a country. And I said, well, we got to do something about it. And that's when I started it, and we got a lot of traction. And then we shifted from the humanitarian to the violence, because that is really raving havoc in our city and county and state and nation. And it's necessary that we come together like-minded Americans and understand what we have to do to change the dynamics. It's complicated, but it can be done.
Well, what got you into that kind of work? Because you're extremely active and doing a lot for the community. So what is it about your upbringing or, the life growing up that pushed you towards this calling?
Well, I've been, ever since I was a little kid, actually, I've been active ever since elementary school, so there was basically some gifts that God had given me to love people, and want to help. I had a big heart, very sensitive, and didn't like to see, anything bad happen or anyone get hurt. And it has transformed me into the man that I am today. And I love my country, I love God first and foremost, and I love people. And then, of course, I love my people, because disproportionately black people are being are hurt pretty bad, and we have to do something about it.
So what's an expectation of you for this coming up year that you're going to be working on, that you want to try and battle some of this nonsense here?
It's amazing. We have another very vigorous and aggressive schedule. We're doing 5. It's a family affair where we're trying to bring all families together to show what the nucleus and what the foundation of America is about. And that's family and faith. Of course, we're going to have food too, some fun. So, and then, and those are Stop the Violence. It's a family affair. And then we're going to have a Stop the Violence community forum. We're coming up on our our Easter food basket drive is going to be launched within the next week or so. Our job fair, we're having a job fair, and that's going to be launched within the next week or so, simultaneously, actually, March 28th and 29th. And we're looking to probably, hand out maybe 2,000 to 2,500 Easter food baskets to all over the county. And then we're going to have a resource fair. We're going to bring under one roof as many resources as possible that can help anybody that needs any help with any problem that they have. And so they can have access to it, to help them on a good, positive path. We're going to have an educational fair, and we're going to bring from preschool, Head Start, nursery, all the way up elementary, high school, colleges, job training, vocational training, GED programs under one roof. It's a lot of things we're going to be doing. It's a lot more than that, but that's enough for now.
I see it. We're going to get into some saucy conversation here. So
Ooh, saucy.
I'm going to enlighten you on what I'm seeing from the city council perspective with the, let's say, the more liberal ideologies there. You brought up family and faith. That doesn't seem to be a topic that they too much enjoy promoting. Do you see that as well? Do you agree with that statement?
Well, our whole system has been trying to get God, family, and faith out as the nuclear or the foundation of America, and that's why we're deteriorating. So whether it's on a local, state, or national level, that has been being systematically attacked for decades. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. Now we got chaos and destruction and death because of that. They don't understand it because they're blind. They have scales over their eyes. Some can see, some can't see. Some choose not to see because of the lust and the things they want to do.
Greed,
they just want
power.
To do, yes, they just want to do what they want to do to accomplish what they want, as opposed to looking at the destruction and the deterioration of the collective or the country.
The other part of that is the education that you brought up. And have you seen across the country that they're saying that some parts of education is racist, meaning math is racist? Have you seen that?
Well, I've seen a whole bunch, but the problem is, foundationally speaking, they took God out of school. Okay. And when you take God out of school, out of the country, out of your family, you have what you have. And then all these other tentacles come in and try to substitute, to indoctrinate and to desensitize the young so that they can be sheep and be led astray to the slaughter, which is happening now. That's why you got so much chaos in the streets all over the country, black or white, but disproportionately black because of the historical aspect of it. And it's been done. It's being done on purpose. So
by who? Who do you think? Who do you think is doing it?
By some very by the elite. By the elite. And that's a very general statement, the elite.
Is that inclusive of those in politics, or do you think there's an elite level above?
All aspects.
Okay.
I don't want to get into the Illuminati and stuff, but
hey, this is the podcast to get into it.
But it's all over.
Look at Lavelle. He waiting.
Dan threw the diamonds.
No, but it's all over. There's a systematic push to secularize and demonize and take over.
It's the devil.
No question about it, literally.
So it seems as if that's been happening and what I've seen in numerous documentaries about this type of conversation is that this has been in the works for decades upon decades. So if they've been slowly infiltrating our media, our politics, our schooling systems, right? Our families, our even our religion, I feel like they've infiltrated, because I see a lot of pastors
absolutely
that have kind of turned a blind eye to a lot of the nastiness that's been happening in our cities specifically. I'm not going to name any names.
Well, there's a lot of churches, period, and denominations that are not going by what the Bible has said. It's in black and white. They're going with what the world or what they want people feel. They're not really telling the truth. You can't say you accept this sin and you accept this sin, you accept this sin, because people are human and they make mistakes. No, a sin is a sin. I don't care if you're homosexual. I don't care if you are you're a liar. I don't care if you're an adulterer, you're a fornicator, you're a murderer, you steal. It's a sin. But we have now allowed it to be socially accepted. And that's part of why there's such deterioration of the foundation.
You can't do it in China.
Can't do what?
Be gay in China.
You can kill your baby in China. You can have
it must be
abortion
for
in
a reason. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to go as deep as a pastor and,
not a pastor.
Oh,
everyone says I am. I'm not.
You sound like it. You got that
I got
aura.
enough yoke on me as it is. That's too much.
Oh, well. within your soul, you definitely, you have that, that same faith. But
well, when the light is in you.
When the light is in you.
I appreciate that.
I will say this though, whether it's considered a sin, whatever, in a religious argument of everything. As far as mentality, I want to ask you though, within just a lot of the issues that we're having today, a lot of the stuff that you ran down, how much do you think it is more than just a mentality versus a deliberate attempt? Like, you do have the ability to, I don't know, seek further information or further truth or seek out help. Like, how much do you kind of put more responsibility on the individual? Where does that come into play for you?
Well, when you have a systematic indoctrination and desensitization and the breakdown of the family, and they've been doing it systematically for decades, really post 60s. So now you have almost 5 generations of young people that are not being taught by their parents, not being taught by the church.
Well, I don't want to just butt in real quick. I just want to kind of broaden the conversation a little bit more.
Go ahead.
When you go back, you're going back years, 60s, whatever, because I love 60s. History as well. I do see a lot of, when we say slave mentality, right? Like when we hear that, like what does a slave mentality mean then to you?
Well, the problem is, and I'm not even going to use the slave mentality terminology. What I will use is indoctrination, systematically indoctrinating our children in education and through television, through music, through computers. They have indoctrinated generations of kids to not know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to share the truth when you're blinded from what truth is, because you don't know the truth. And unless you take time and sit down with an individual or individuals, and it's going to take time because there's so many layers of lies that have systematically infiltrated their psyche, their spirit, because they don't know the truth. Most young people, so many people, but most young people, 40 and down, some of them ain't ever been to church before. Right. And that's the foundation of America.
I only brought that up because, the whole Black History Month thing, I dig into the history and trying to dig deep, and
but I wouldn't even call it. That's why I said I don't call it a slave mentality. I call it an indoctrination.
Well, the only reason why I say that, because I only go off the references of the ones who were slaves and actually communicated what it was like Frederick Douglass, for example. And within his book From Bondage to Freedom, he spoke about just the mentality of the slaves during that time and how they chose to utilize their time when they were giving freedom to do what they wanted, whatever they wanted to do. Right. So he spoke about the industrial thinking slave that chose to work during that time and were condemned by the slave master versus the slaves that chose to box, wrestle, sing, do entertaining things. They applauded those slaves. And the only reason I brought that up, because, I found it pretty interesting that a lot of the things that Frederick Douglass was trying to separate and say that, well, the slave master actually thought the hardworking slave were kind of ungrateful for working during this time versus the ones who were shucking and jiving, so to speak. So that the reason why I said I just was trying to get to the mentality part of it. When we talk about the whole indoctrination, it's still, we still have a slave master amongst our people that's still perpetuating these things that you're talking about, that we're indoctrinated.
Just one slave master?
Slave masters.
Okay. I was gonna say, I feel like there's a bunch.
Right. And it's not, and at the same time, it's not just deliberate to just Black people, because we're all kind of enamored within that, you know, that I don't know, it's kind of like a gravitational pull to entertainment, right? This, everything that we see is a show, and the people that's, you know, out there doing what they're doing, we're choosing to follow it. You have a choice, right?
We would much rather be entertained than educated, for sure.
Of course.
Well, the problem is that we are becoming like the great civilizations of the past, whether it was the Greek Empire, whether it's the Roman Empire, whether it's the Ottoman Empire, because we have became a sedimentary, entertained society.
Lazy ass is what you mean.
They knew.
It's like the Colosseum. It's like
I can say that.
It's like the Colosseum in
Yeah.
Rome.
Yeah,
You become a spectator. The computers, the television, the radio. Now they legalize marijuana. I mean,
Okay, how you feel about that then?
yeah, but the point is they're doing it because they're doing it for greed. They're not doing it because they want to keep Black people out of jail, or brown people out of jail, or even some white folk out of jail. They're doing it because they want more money from taxation. And so instead of them legalizing it, they should have decriminalized it, right? But now by them legalizing, everywhere you go, that's all you do is smell marijuana. Everybody getting high.
And as soon as I'm driving in the morning
And
down Lake Avenue, all like,
and
it's
kids
just wafting.
but
Roll up
the
too then.
problem is it's
No, I'm
kids. You got
Good.
10,
I go right back to
12,
sleep.
8, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, it's legal. It's okay
Right,
to
right.
smoke marijuana. Their brains ain't even developed. Now they
Vaping.
legalize gambling. Man, you can't. It is just crazy, this gambling stuff.
You know how much money that New York made in the
2
first
billion.
month?
God bless
2
America.
billion.
God bless America.
So
It's crazy.
So
That is an insane amount of money.
God bless
that
America.
quickly.
Yeah, but it's draining the people. And instead of us thinking independently, creatively, being scientists and mathematicians or anything productive, we got all of these exterior things that are compounding our time.
Well, our previous guest said that, a lot of kids want to be TikTokers, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, well, because
And gamers?
What'd you think about
Pop
that?
lock.
I don't know.
Not even about our guest, but what do you think
Pop
about
lock
kids?
with a camera.
It's mentality.
Yeah. What do you think about kids wanting to be social media stars
I don't
versus being
know. I've never
carpenters?
been on social media.
Good for you.
So
Yeah,
I really think it's dangerous.
I
That's
agree.
why I never got on it. I even there's a little good in it, but there's so much bad that I've never gotten on. Literally never. I don't even know how to get on any social media. So
awesome.
so no, it's not. No.
As I sit here and think about my first ever go live, like,
Why
should
would
do
you
one day.
swim
You remember
with
your
sharks
first ever
to
go
catch a
live?
cod?
I went like on Instagram. Actually, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I don't go live. I don't do none of that stuff. I try to. I'm like, I'm just talking to myself. I can't do it. Right? I just think about it. I just think about myself. Like, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, it bothers me to talk to you.
But
too.
It bothers me when I'm the only one watching. When I'm the first one in the room watching, I'm like, it's
You're
just me and
waiting
you.
for somebody, right?
It's just me and you.
You're
Can
just
no
waiting for
one else
somebody.
jump in?
I
feel bad about
don't. I don't think that overall we have as many intelligent people as we did back in the 1700s. And like,
Oh, that's a statistical fact.
yeah, I do think, and we always try and talk about just the Black race and just our intellectual percentages within our people. I do think that the number across the board, even within the white community, their intellectual levels are just the same as it was in this country back then. The numbers really haven't changed that much percentage wise between Blacks and whites overall. I do think that we should really start to understand that the white elites during that time, during slavery, looked at the poor whites as equal as the black slaves, simply because they were useless to them.
The Dixie Democrats.
They didn't give a fuck. Why would they care? You don't matter to me. I have to make sure my lender gets this payment, because this Jewish dude that I know that's bringing this money. Let's not act as though we didn't know who financed the whole slave. They financed a great deal of that slave trade. They sure enough did.
I'm gonna let you take that one because I have no idea.
Oh well, dig deep into them numbers. You know, there's no secret as far as where the money was coming from, what was going on during that.
I thought
time.
it was Portuguese or the Spaniards.
No. And even within the Portuguese, there were Dutch Jewish traders that got kicked out. You know, because of illegal loans and the stuff that they always get knocked for. But let's be real. Like, Jews are great with money, and okay.
Shout out to Rabbi Daniel Lappin.
Shout out to.
If you don't listen to him, go look him up on YouTube.
Look up Rabbi Yaakov Shapiro. He's a great guy.
We're name dropping rabbis. What other podcasts where you name drop rabbis?
And actually admit to listening to them.
Oh,
so
man.
that lets you know that I'm not a what do they call us?
Redneck?
No. Anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semitic whatsoever. Just because you talk facts about a specific group and their involvement with history. Like
There's
they
black
love
rednecks too.
Right. They love to sit in the back and say, "Oh, we didn't do that shit." No, you did. You actually did.
So you brought up government assistance in there. You talk about the 60s when kind of the familial deterioration started. I see it as government assistance. Do you see it as anything other than that? What else do you see that happened from the 60s till today that would have destroyed the family?
The nuclear family.
They incentivize single motherhood.
Right. Oh. I'm asking the guest here to see what his thoughts are.
I thought you were genuinely curious. I was taken back.
Like, you don't know that shit?
I threw the softball at Dan.
Jose?
See, I wasn't prepped on this beforehand.
That's a great answer, though.
Maybe he disagrees with me. Do you think that they incentivized single motherhood through the welfare state?
Sure they did.
Okay. Do you think it's still happening?
Still going on now.
Okay. So should we stop government assistance then? Or should we edit?
We need to regulate it, if you will.
Okay.
We need
in
to
what way?
Make it. I think in the 90s, even under the Clinton administration, it was called workfare.
Yep.
And it worked. It was working, and then they changed it because you can't keep giving free stuff away without having the ability to say, listen, you can't sit home. You got to get that memo. You got to get your education. You got to be able to read and write to your kids.
This is a temporary thing, not a live off of the government.
Right. It's a hand up.
How do you get that point across, though?
How do you get that point across?
Well, you got to change the system. We have to change the system. We have to tell the system. You have to put these requirements in there.
That won't get you voted, though. That's the problem, right?
It don't matter about the votes. It's a matter about getting people and families in position to be independent, self-sufficient, and to be able to pull them out of poverty.
Right. If rappers started rapping about having a dope ass family, and like then a lot of our Instagram thoughts stop thoughting on Instagram and showing that they're with their husbands.
That's
and
not
husbands.
Gonna happen.
No,
that's not gonna happen.
Fuck.
You got to incentivize that, and the only way to incentivize that is to get people elected that believe in the way you believe, or the way I think most common folk believe, but they don't show up to vote, and they label that person as a racist.
Well, not only that, we don't have enough people that become active enough to voice their opinion and to come out and hold the elected officials accountable. I know Dan wanted to chime in. What you want to say, Daniel?
Oh, nothing. I was having a good
time. He
listening.
wanted to say the number one vote getter for city council wants to give free housing. She wants to take away your ability to charge monthly rent away.
Say the name.
I can't say the name. Take it away from you, Stanley, and give it to somebody else for free.
Who?
There's 3 people right now that wants to take away your right to property.
Who do they rent from?
Well, doesn't matter who they rented from because they got a ton
I want to know who are they paying per month to live their life? Because if that shit goes away, right, and then you want a equal level playing field, that plush whatever you got because you feel that you're accomplished, right? Because I would have to think that you're not living, and no disrespect to anybody that's living on the corner of Frost and Jefferson. However, I don't think you're living there.
I grew up there, by the way.
It ain't literally what it used to be.
It was bad then, but it's worse now. But regardless,
but I know
you're getting shot.
You're like, not lining up to go live right there in that corner. You're not looking to go live on that corner.
Literally was my corner.
Are you ready to go buy right now on that block?
I've invested in it.
Are you going to buy that block for yourself and literally
live there?
I would have to change something.
Okay, all right, whatever. That's enough.
I think Let's Go Brandon came up with
what I'm saying. What I'm going to say is so that dude, right? If that dude,
Let's Go Brandon.
There is no way that dude would live on that corner on any time at this point, being given where they are, right? They feel as though they're accomplished.
In the downtown area where you step outside and you have like 10 bars around you.
Oh, that high price area, right? Where that rent is going towards the 2,000, 3,000 range.
Yes, it's too damn high.
So yes,
that's literally what somebody did say. My rent is $2,000 and it's too high. Yes. Yes, it is.
I will applaud any successful individual. If you can find a way to pay $3,000 a month to live anywhere, God bless your.
There's places in downtown Rochester where you do pay $3,000 a month.
Yeah. Yes, but I know.
You earn that money.
You earn it. You are doing something. So, who the hell are you to think that you're going to come in and change this whole system for everybody, the peasants? Like, just think of your fucking mentality. How much of a pompous piece of shit do you think you are to where you can live in your plush apartment and then say, hey, guys, you know what? Everybody just need to be around $900 a month for rent. You know what that's going to get you for $900 a month for rent in Rochester, New York today? Right there on Frost and Jefferson. I'm not lining up to live over there. I'm sorry. I deserve better for myself. Why? Because my people and again, I still have relatives that live over in that area. And they're doing, okay.
My mom lives over there, and I'm trying to get her out of that area.
Right. And you have some that have been homeowners forever. And you know what?
A lot of them.
And the fact that they're living over there, they should not have to leave because that's their equity. That's their home. That home is their asset.
And they might be living on Social Security where it's a guaranteed basic income every month that they worked hard for.
That they worked hard. So they should not get uprooted.
And all they have are taxes to pay.
But if you do something like this, when you sit ahead and you pretty much put a cap on rent, you have expenses. You have shit that has to get paid. What the hell you think is going to happen to the quality of living when you do that, dumbass? Who's paying for it?
I wish they would cap gasoline prices.
Who's paying for this shit? Who?
Real estate prices.
Who?
Or natural gas.
Who?
Or electricity.
So you're going to tell me the owner.
Or food.
You're going to say, hey, Mr. Owner, I'm elected city council and I feel good about myself. So therefore, we're going to create a law where you can only put your rent at $900 a month because, we don't give a damn if your tenant pays 2 months out of the year, but it's systemically racist in this city. So you got to pay, you only get $900 a month. What do you think a landlord is going to do?
Well, obviously, as you've been told before, you are privileged.
That's
Lavelle.
right. That's
you are privileged.
Fucking right. That's right. I was fucking, yes. Damn it.
We all are in our own ways.
Well, someone told me I was privileged to have a father figure in my life. I said,
you are.
That's not a privilege. That is a basic duty of a man that has a child.
But when that's the minority of people, you're privileged.
But is that not, Clay, the reason of our demise in this country right now, that is the minority?
That's upsetting.
Well, it's true. Prior to 1970, it was 75, 25 African American, 2-parent household.
75% 2 parents.
90 white, 2-parent household. Now it is vice versa. In the Black family, it's 25, 75 children born out of wedlock in the Black family. And it is 60, 40 in the white family. It has dramatically been reduced. And that's why you have so much deterioration in the country, because there is no discipline, there's no love, there's no structure.
Well, are you telling me that a single mother cannot provide that for her children?
Well, a lot of people want to say that and they want to get offended, but the reality is it's very difficult for any male or female to raise a child by themselves. It's more difficult for a female, which disproportionately that's what it falls on in the society. The male,
isn't that what they asked for?
The male have babies by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different women, and they don't even take care of them. But the point is, it's hard for a female, for a woman, to raise a man child and to teach them to be a man. That's why God made man and woman. He didn't make Adam and Steve. He made Adam and Eve. He made man and woman. He didn't make no transvestites.
Remember at the beginning when he said that I had
all that sending shots at the community, boy. Y'all need to get it right.
It's true. You know, it is male and female.
Yeah.
And the problem is everybody want to just do at the while it's going to be, which is goes on now, just like homosexuality was, and they knew it was wrong, so they was in the closet. Right? Because they knew it was wrong, right? But systematically through time, they've been whittling away, especially Hollywood, right? And now, very soon, it's being set up for men and women and children, to have sex with children, little children, because it's done now. It's done now, but it's not accepted. So it's still in the closet. But it's slowly coming out. If you see a lot of stuff,
I don't think Lavelle's been saying that.
And then let me just say one more. And then where I really want to go is they really setting us up right now for bestiality, because it goes on right now. It's been going on for thousands of years, and if you see and you read it, why you think almost every daggone commercial is with an animal?
I want to fuck a goat. I want to fuck a goat.
No, every commercial.
When did that happen?
Listen, every commercial you see, it's about 90% of all commercials is with an animal.
When I go with my horse.
Okay.
And
so how does that equate to wanting to have sex with an animal, though?
Because they desensitizing.
Okay.
That's right.
Indoctrinating.
To what, though? It seems like it's desensitizing to owning.
It's a part of your family.
Okay.
They dress them up like they're real, like they're human. Okay. It's slowly. I'm trying to tell you something. They give them graves now. Okay.
You give them what?
Graves. They bury them like they're human.
I'm literally about to get rid of my cat tomorrow.
Got people who love their animals more than another human being.
Get rid of my cat tomorrow.
And
I can
you see commercials where the daggone dogs and cats are in a bed with the people. It's a setup. That's what I'm trying to tell you something.
Wait, I'll say this, man. I let my cat lay on the foot of my bed, man. I think it's cozy. They're like, yo, she calls me.
You going to hell?
But I'm not about to bang my cat, man. Like, we got.
You said you're putting your cat down tomorrow?
No. What I do need is the city of Rochester to open up their damn facility so I can cut his nuts. This cat is annoying as motherfucker.
See?
Damn, this cat is annoying as shit.
He wants to do something with the cat's nuts.
Desensitized. Yo, cut the nuts off the cat tomorrow.
I think some people will listen to you and say that was a little out there, but I'm with you. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. I'm with you 100%. I've been seeing it for years now.
Yeah. Well,
seeing what?
Well, yo, they make
desensitization.
Yeah. Well, the furries, right? The people who are into that shit where they, the furries, getting a whole big
and so the comeback then is, well, you can't judge me. You can't judge.
Of course.
Do what you want to do.
Right.
There you go.
Yes.
On the screen. On the screen there. There's desensitization.
I'm living my best life.
Yeah, well, they're in office now.
You're a hater.
You just call me racist?
You're animal phobia.
That's
I've
right.
heard of it before, but you're a
homophobic.
No, a dog phobia.
That's right.
First of all,
I think he's a fetishist.
If anybody on this podcast is racist, it's me, because I got accused of being the most racist person by so many guests. Like
I'm pretty sure I'm still number one for that.
You are? No,
pretty sure.
Are you? I don't know, because you haven't been called a sellout.
You talk
as
about
much as me.
Bestiality. And my grandfather grew up down in Bath, New York.
Yeah, Dan wins that one. We're gonna get to that one immediately.
I'm sorry.
Game over. Dan got it.
Ain't nobody fighting, man.
Where's Bath?
Yeah, I heard stories. Austin will attest to this too. We heard stories growing up, not from my grandfather, but people he knew. Mm-hmm. You know, there was that warm sheep on a cold winter night.
Is that a Bath, New York thing?
No. That's like central, like Hicktown, USA.
Okay.
Well, you gotta
don't let Johnny out in the woodshed with that sheep.
Clay, I did tell you.
Think about it.
It's mainstream now.
Yeah.
Fellas.
Well, we know everything that pumps out on our
is.
media is not put out there just to inform us, right? They're not trying to say we're informing you about this woman that fucked the goat. They're not doing that. They are kind of, let's see what fucking happens. Let's see who, because if they had goat porn 20, 30 years ago, they got goat porn now.
Yes, they definitely do have
goat porn.
All the above. It is
all of the above.
I can't believe that.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Brandon brought up the cat story.
Oh.
Okay, wait. I'm tying this into a teacher that got in trouble for not identifying a student as a cat story.
They wouldn't meow. They wouldn't meow when the cat said. Didn't we talk about that a few weeks ago?
That was on our podcast. Well, I hope that's where you saw it. Let's go, Brandon. That means you're really watching.
Well, my cat says hello, and Dan doesn't you're just gonna be rude. Just gonna say
your cat.
say hello.
Legitimately,
he says hello. He says hello. He definitely says hello.
You're humanizing your cat.
No. He definitely says this shit.
I'll get a video.
Jen sees that your cat said hi to her.
No, he did. So Jen, listen, this fucking cat with nuts the size of fucking walnuts. City of Rochester, please let him in. Book him an appointment. He needs it because, listen, I'm letting him out in the streets. Springtime, when spring comes, he's gonna be the king.
Let's go through the questions and comments there. Good Lord.
Your cat's the only cat that plays head games though, because as you're walking down your stairs, Lavelle, your cat will jump in front of your feet. And then you kick the cat and you're like, oh, I kicked like you feel bad because you're a human being. But then that cat just comes right back.
He comes right back. He don't stop.
Keep scrolling to the top. I didn't see any of these. Keep going.
Said it's so popular.
We got
Lindsay.
We got people commenting on this.
Oh yeah. They get in on our show.
Lindsay Royson said not to tell you that she was here, but I think at this point you know that.
That's my
right there. Don't tell Clay I'm here. I thought
that's my friend.
Yep. Hold on. You going mad fast, yo?
Hey,
get that boy fixed.
I'm trying to, Jen. The city said, man, unless you got at least 9 months before we can get them in for an appointment.
I tell you, Lavelle, I bet you go down to Bath, New York, they'll do it for nothing.
Listen, I'll just let him go. I'll just release him to the damn fields in the spring.
Leave him here.
He'll find his way.
Days.
He'll find his way, boy.
Oh my God.
Impregnate the whole block.
Brittany says, I agree. I don't know how to be a man. I can't teach my son stuff I don't know. Yet it would still come back on a woman that we didn't raise them right.
It's true, but it's not the woman's fault. It's the man's fault because he was not a real man to take care of his child.
Responsibility.
And a real man will take care of his children, to raise them, to teach them, to train them, to love them, and to discipline them. Men need to step up and take care of their kids. I don't care what color you're in.
That's a fact.
Hold on.
But not everybody is playing with. Yeah, you're right. Because I'm gonna say, what about that toxic female, that parental alienation?
Yeah. Not only that, but women have to be a little more selective with who they're allowing into the hen house.
That's true too.
Because
oh my God,
I've told many women that the top thing that they should be looking at. I tell every woman that asks this question, which is 0. The top thing they should be looking at is look at their keychain How many keys do they have? Because that means responsibility. If they have they should have more than 2 keys on their keychain. Point blank.
And you're not talking about dope, right?
I said
keys.
What if I live in the country? I don't lock my doors.
Well, you have a vehicle.
That's right.
And you still have your house key.
Hey, you know what? I'm with your logic. I get you.
All right. And then the second thing is look at their actual wallet. Let me see your wallet.
But they're looking at the keys. They're looking at the kilos of cocaine.
Hold on. Look at their wallet. What kind of credit cards do they have? And do they carry too much cash?
Looking at that.
Because if they're carrying too much cash, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. If they don't have any credit cards, that's a problem. So women have to be more selective with who they're procreating with. Because,
we all do.
Because the reason why I feel
get off Tinder.
All these guys out here are acting a damn fool is because they're still having sex. Well, if you stop having sex with them, they will stop acting a fool.
Well, naturally, we're, us men, I guess they tell us through science, right? We're supposed to go through and pillage the ground and, like, yeah, bitch.
But we're not talking about going from woman to woman. We're talking about not shooting.
Yeah, but still. Well, okay. Now, okay. Well, the argument within the household, that's probably will go down and never solve that, right? Because it still comes down to
why not? We destroyed it.
We did, but at the same time, we have to reconnect with spirituality. Like we have to really understand the yin and the yang and all the difference of energy and really connected with the right people. Just because you feel you're connected with that person at that moment, that don't mean that you should knock them up and be able to coexist and have a kid with them.
Well, here's the thing. Again, men, and I don't care about PC. The man is the man, and he is the human being that God created first. And the woman and the man supposed to come together. And the man has to love and respect his wife and take care of the children. That's not occurring. So things are out of whack, right?
A lot of things out of whack right now.
Yeah, but because the family is out of whack. If the family wasn't out of whack, the society wouldn't be out of whack, period. Okay? And you can't put it on the woman per se. No. And I'm not going to get too deep because, I things would really light up. Okay?
Go ahead.
We need to stop it.
But the woman is not at fault. It is the man. Period.
I'm not saying at fault, but there is a responsibility.
Again, the responsibility first and foremost lies with the man.
You're not saying
when he has a baby.
No.
That's when the responsibility of a man comes in.
Listen, woman. If you want me to stick around, you better listen. I want my dinner ready and my beer cold.
Who said AWD?
I think he needs to get a whooping. Remember I told y'all earlier?
But
I'm gonna
pull my belt off and I'm gonna
whoop him. My beer cold because the game is coming on. Goddamn it!
Men have to take the responsibility. If men take the responsibility,
of course.
But hold on, but men take a responsibility in a family, in a household, in a relationship. But if you just met the dude,
right?
That's not the man's responsibility.
No, the man
for your
ain't
bad
got to pull his pants down and pull his thing out and get none.
We are in
control. He can control himself. And if he gonna do it, protect himself.
Okay, I can see where you're going with that because when Eve did eat of the fruit and gave it to Adam, God blamed Adam for it.
Because she listened to other people. She went off and listened to her homegirls.
No, God didn't blame Eve.
She went off and got them DMs slid in her. She said, "Oh shoot!"
I'd rather have a man with cash in his wallet, not drug dealer cash. What's drug dealer cash? Than credit cards. That is killing the middle class.
That is true.
That's not killing the middle class.
That is not killing the middle class. Reckless spending.
Exactly.
Reckless spending. Right. You got to know what to do with debt. You got to know how to use it. But nobody has that education.
Jamie said he used to be irresponsible. He lost his whole 20s.
A lot of us.
He said something earlier too. Go up. I saw Jamie had said something earlier.
Rent in Bath is $650 or so.
Why, Jamie? You trying to move to Bath, New York for the fringe benefits?
3,000 rent in Bath. He said 3,000.
No way.
No
3,000 rent in Bath. Okay, there we go.
$600.
I'm gonna go back to this thing. Men have to be responsible. And women are they're women. They're sensitive. They're emotional.
Is that? I feel like that's a little sexist. I don't know.
Yeah, but remember I told you I didn't want to get too deep. Okay,
I'm not talking
but the bottom line is
y'all need to sit down and shut up.
That's why you're gonna get another whooping. Okay, all right.
Yo, I can't listen. I would say this: the women that watch our show, they know I love them, and I'm just joking.
I don't think they do. I don't know.
They should.
I don't know.
They should know.
They definitely love you.
I won't go as far as say that, you know, I for every strength that a man has, he has a weakness, and you know, the same goes for the female. And I do think that for anybody to coexist with each other, they have to be spiritually connected with each other to know what each person needs in order for them to be.
Well, if you don't believe in the spirit,
you're right. If you're not spiritual, you fucked. You're gonna be listening to your homegirls like, girl, listen. He ain't coming back at 9:05 like you said, so he definitely fucking some other bitch. I know it.
Patricia said it right though. You gotta live like grandma and grandpa. You gotta have a what's the expression?
No, don't do that.
No, that's what you should do.
No, you shouldn't. I don't believe in Dave Ramsey's principle.
Live on less than you make. What you gotta have is
Dave Ramsey hates credit.
You got to have a champagne income and a keg of beer in the garage. That's what it is.
Well,
you got to make enough. You got to spend a little.
No, you got to have more assets than your liabilities.
Yeah, whatever.
It's totally different mentality. Dave Ramsey refuses to get any.
But sheep are cheap, James. Sheep
that's the knowledge and education that.
Thank you. Jamie's on my side.
If you're fortunate to get that knowledge and you understand the game, right? You can make better decisions with your finances. But a lot of people are distracted by so many other things that we were talking about before.
But they shouldn't be, because these are biblical principles in the Bible.
Who's reading the Bible, Jose? God damn it, man. Why you bringing up the Bible, man?
Clay reads the Bible.
Okay.
Well,
keep going.
You don't
listen. There's more people listening to Lil Baby, Dub Baby, Lil Uzi Vert,
live like him, and see how far it gets you.
Every Lil rapper that we got today is dropping more bars than the Bible, according to these kids today.
Lil Nipsey Hussle,
and perhaps
maybe that's the issue.
That's why we got the problem.
Right.
Thank you. That's what I mean.
That's what you're trying to get at.
So since you spewing it,
I'm not spewing it. I'm just
spewing it. Why don't you
get that
tell us what the solutions are so to get them to go on the right path?
There we go. Let's leave our audience with a solution on how to fix the entire world right now.
Go. Right now.
And in a serious note, young man.
Well, in a serious note, just, given the fact that, you are a spiritual individual. And again, I definitely, respect you for that, because that is, I think, a huge foundation in any person, but also importantly, a family.
And
right? And a man. So one possible solution could be, instead of the things that we do promote, right, which is entertainment, sports, alcohol, all those things that, seem to be sort of like a slave mentality, we reverse it and talk more about
who's we,
we as just individuals, us as far as parents, right? How when we communicate with each other, we should prop up the family that has a father and a mother together, right? And applaud them for their ability to figure that shit out, because it's hard as hell to work with anybody on any goddamn thing, let alone raise a family in today's society
and stay together
with dealing with Instagram, Facebook, and also our school district. When you have teachers calling you for bullshit half of the time, where they don't, they're just wasting your damn time and can, kind of discipline, because we know it takes a village, right? If we get back to that mentality and talk about it more, just like we're talking now, just like a lot of leaders are talking now, we just continue that and just kind of put things in perspective, knowing it won't happen overnight. I think eventually it might become something that is accepted more when we get away from the little Dirks, the babies, and we tell them that see, when we were growing up, right, when we were the first when the parental advisory stamp came on our music, right? We as listeners, we thought that shit was bullshit. Like, fuck that. I want to listen to NWA, right? But, the old folks during that argument, they were right. But who put them down? Who shut them down? the people who had the money. So, you know, we know what the facts are. We know that throughout, you know, just our even going back when you were younger, the great bands of that time, you know, a lot of them were moving away
what
from
bands. What bands do you think was in his time?
Oh, well, you can go back to the James Brown days, to to the Temptations, all of them. The music changed. The music definitely changed from, you know, what the foundation was. It had a meaning into more raunchy shit that just destroyed the community.
Now. It reeks.
Yeah,
everything.
Drugs came into the community.
Sex.
The jazz era,
drugs, sex,
alcohol,
rock and roll.
Yeah,
all of those things infiltrated our community. They kept trying.
And Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but now
and that's being played out in the streets all over
day,
the country,
all day,
literally.
I don't think people take it seriously that when they were talking about it many years ago, that Grand Theft Auto was going to cause kids to go out in the streets and start doing this nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's stupid. That don't make no damn sense. I can play this game. I'm not going to go out shooting somebody. But I feel as though
it is.
That is what's happening on our streets today.
It's a direct relationship. It's a direct correlation because again,
it's a whole other generation.
But here's the point: going back to the family.
Mm-hmm.
If the family is not together and there is no parental guidance and no parental discipline and teaching, okay, then the children are being entertained and taught by the vices of the world. And if that's all they know, they're being indoctrinated,
right? And
they don't know, many of them don't even know truth from fantasy.
Yeah, I was at somebody's house and their baby was their baby, actual baby, not the baby, was in the crib, bouncy thing, whatever heck it is called, watching BET rap videos.
Yes.
And I walked in and I'm sitting there on the couch like, I was like, I don't mean to judge by any means, but do you feel as though this is right? Like, because I'm gonna change the channel. Are you okay with that? And they're like, oh no, he loves the music. I'm sure the baby loves music, but I think the baby might like Blue's Clues music or
Barney or something.
I don't know any of these kids think. So it would like any kind of music.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that music because I see the eyes glued to the TV and I'm like, if you remember that as a baby, then you go into a toddler, then you go adolescent.
Being entertained with
absolutely.
10, 15, 20 hours a day because most parents are not taking the time. I'm talking about these young parents are not, and it's been generational now. They're not taking the time to teach and train, to nurture, and they now you got them, they got them with these things, and this is what they learn, and this is what they see, literally.
Not mine.
Yeah, and they think it's
cute.
Well, not cute. It's not going to hurt them, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to impact
he
them.
know how to use YouTube already. He's only 1.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be proud of that. That light is definitely going to fall on somebody. That's breaking through the ceiling. Just FYI, that one single light up there.
Let's do it.
Anyways, just want to let you guys. All right, Patricia,
but at the end of the day, it comes down to accountability, though. Still.
Yeah, Patricia said we all need to learn to treat others as if they could be God. If you treat your neighbor like God, you wouldn't rob God or cheat on God or lie to God. Bottom line is faith is something or someone other than one's self or things. We've gotten so far away from God. It is really sad.
It's true.
That's certainly one way to look at it.
But
stop all social media.
Well, I would say this.
Right, Jamie.
How do you promote God though? Today, how can you promote God?
And how do you promote
easily
the actual God? Because I feel like there's
easily.
Like not Austin's God.
What is starting to permeate and sweep across at least Rochester and trying to get back to the basics from the fundamentals, like encouraging people to go to church so that they can learn, see, and know and feel and understand who God is.
And communion.
But how do you do that though? Like if I want to drop an album, I got to promote it. If I want to promote it, I got to either buy some flyers, I got to post some shit on Instagram, I got to post some shit on Facebook,
you
social
go to
media.
Church?
I don't go to church. However, I do have a family church that's been
we need to talk
I don't
about
go to church
because of who you are and what you do and the gifts and the talents that you have, it's time for you to give back, and it's time to get back to your roots.
I don't know if I have to do it through church, though.
No, church is key. We just talked about that.
For the past hour and a half.
Foundation.
Yeah, but if you're talking about me personally, or are you talking about?
I'm talking about you, because it starts with us individually, okay? As an individual human, understanding we didn't create ourselves, and it's time to get closer to the Creator so that things can get back in line.
But do I got to go to church, though?
Absolutely. And not only you got to go to church, you need to start teaching Sunday school too. Because you got gifts and talents that you don't even know that God gave you, and it's time for you to give back.
They don't pay good in church school.
No, that's not even a pay.
It's the wrong mentality.
No, we just gonna get whooped.
I'm just joking.
We got 3 whoopings coming.
Please take my humor lightly, because
that's all right.
I will say this. I will say this. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish, because I'll say this. No, I'm on a serious note as well. I'm on a serious note because I don't want to, disrespect my ancestors and elders, because I do know they're very religious, and my foundation does come from a very religious. I do have a very religious background. What I would say, though, as far as individuality and individuals, though, I do think that someone can still carry their own spirituality, but don't have to adhere to a specific church or group.
You're like all the girls in the bar that I used to meet. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual.
No, I mean, no. Well, because the only reason why I say that, because I didn't learn spirituality until I dealt with trauma of losing, close family members. So that's an eye-opening experience right there. It's gonna make your ass see God, because you don't really know the difference of life and death until you see it, and it's that close. It becomes a reality. So I've gained a very, fond closeness to my own spirituality through that. Now, as far as, if we want to get into churches and all that, and religions, specific religions and all that, then,
Is that important?
I don't think that's important. I just feel like I'm a free agent.
You say you do not think it's
important? I'm a free agent, man. Until
does it matter if it's Presbyterian, Catholic,
until Baptist, the right religion come up to me and say, "Hey, listen, Val, we want to sponsor you. We want to get you, on billboards, and we want to definitely get you a contract."
Yeah, that's definitely not the religion.
Thank you. I was waiting for Scientology to come into this conversation.
That's the 3rd week in a row you brought us.
Because the only reason why I challenge the whole spiritual arguments. There's a lot of bad stuff that's happening within that. That whole.
You mean Roman Catholics?
Yes. Well, not even just them. It's within the Baptist Christian church. There's a lot of shit that's going on that needs to be cleaned up within those realms.
Here's the point. Here's the point. Because of, again, who you are and the gifts and talents that you have, the knowledge that you have possessed because of your experiences, and you understand that there is spirituality, and it's important, and there is a higher being because of the spirituality. I submit to you today that God is speaking to you, and he wants you to get to know him better so you can be all you have been called to be through him, so you can help a lot of people become self-sufficient, independent, get out of poverty, okay? Stop killing one another, etc., etc. And it's time to take life serious in that manner, because it literally is life and death.
What's your response to that, Lavelle?
No, he don't need to. You don't want
to get that forward.
I was going to say, thank you. I appreciate it. Can I get some time to think about it?
No. Yes. That's why I said it. So you leave it tonight when you go to sleep. Somebody gonna talk to you.
Can I get a little bit of time to think about that, man?
You got, baby. God is good. He got you right where he wants you, young man.
That's right.
Stay there.
All right. Next, we're gonna work on Austin.
You see Austin face.
Well,
hey, let me touch you with my spirit fingers.
Austin, is there any other additional comments that we missed there? I want to make sure, because I want to make sure.
I love our guests. Listen,
in there.
Patricia, Patricia's
agree.
been
She's
dropping bombs today.
It's so hard for people to want to go to a quote unquote church or or congregation because there is just so much corruption. I'm Catholic, by the way, said, but there is just too much noise in the world for people to hear God's calling. Faith and religion is a very personal thing. It comes to people in all forms, but I really just don't know how to make it louder than the noise. So how do you make God's voice louder than all of the noise and commotion?
Well, Miss Patricia,
chaos.
Miss Patricia, I hope you hear the sound of my voice, young lady. It's a quiet, small voice that will speak to you, and it will tell you how to shut the noise out and how to become sensitive to hear what God is trying to tell you. It doesn't matter. We're human. So whether church or not, even though the church should be, better, and we're all fallible, we all, sin, we're all imperfect, but we're trying to strive to be perfect. So you have to be patient with your fellow man, and you have to shut the noise out, and you have to understand and focus on what God wants you to do. That way you can not only help yourself and your family, but you can help a stranger, your neighbor, and your coworkers.
Boom. I can tell you, I'm very in tune with God's voice in my life. That may sound weird to other people, but it's not weird to me. Very in tune with his voice. And a lot of times it's just, I don't want to hear it.
True.
Because it's something that he's telling me to do. And I'm like, I don't.
It's the flesh and the spirit. The flesh don't want to, and the spirit does.
But when you're fighting it, you're fighting God's voice. You're fighting that soul that's inside you that's saying, you can go ahead and fight it, but this is what I'm telling you. And I automatically think of Jonah. I automatically think of Jonah when I hear about that. And it's like, all right, I don't want to spend 3 days in a belly of a whale.
See, you dropping fucking scriptures and stories.
Man, I love the Bible. I love the Bible. The worst thing I ever did in my life, and I'll put this on air here. The worst thing I ever did in my life,
state assemblyman,
future state assemblyman, was throw out my Bible in college. I had a Bible that I had for years. I got it from a birthday, my 9th birthday, I believe it was. Most kids are getting like bikes and toys. I got a Bible, and it was a beautiful Bible, and it went from 9 years old till, in the Army and everything. I had worn it through. And when I was going through some things in college, I had read it so many times. I've read through the Bible quite a few times. And I was like, I don't need this anymore. I'm good. And it took me a couple of days. I had it out. I had it out ready to go. I was like, not yet. And I fought against it for so long. And I don't know why I fought, because once I start fighting against it, and I know that I'm fighting against something that's against my soul, against my, will. And I ended up throwing it out when I moved out of my apartment in college. And then I just went down this rampage of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh, shit.
And
you got a dark past?
I don't want to say it's dark. It's just a lot of, it was a lot of fun, but it was worldly fun, right?
Did you do any lines?
I'm not talking about lines, clothing lines.
Right? You said sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Drugs was alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then you wasn't doing drugs. You was just getting drunk.
You ever? No, I'm not gonna go down there. Shout out to the late great
Bob Saget.
Yep. But that was the worst thing I ever did, because I ended up now I have like 3 Bibles, right? Because I've got 3 different versions. If I see one in one version that I'm like, I don't quite get that, I go to another version. I go through that one. I say, all right, I get it now. I love my Bible. And if anyone out there that's even thinking about, tossing the Bible away or not using it anymore or putting it away and not reading it, I'm telling you, it will always come in handy. Always come in handy.
So
it gives you so many truths.
You didn't respect RZA's line when he say rolling ganja Bible papers. You thought that was disrespectful. Huh?
I mean, I would think that God would not be happy about that. So that's what I try to go with. Would God be happy with this or would not be happy about it? It's not like he's going to burn you. I don't think that God is out there to get you every time you sin. It's, am I falling in the steps that he has created for me, in this path that he has for me? Am I walking that path? Because once you're walking that path, you tend to have more clarity in what you're doing. and I have very good clarity in what I'm doing. That's why whenever anyone says anything to me, I don't know
how you do it.
I'm very confident in my Father who art in heaven, who is bigger, bolder, more badass than anyone can ever think of. So there is nothing anyone can say to me that can ever detract me from my relationship with my God. So shout out to anyone out there who reads their Bible.
I do give people a lot of credit who could just quote Bible scriptures out the blue. Like Matthew 11, 13, 55.
I don't know the Bible numbers.
That was too many numbers. You were almost good.
My son goes to North Star Christian Academy, and he has to learn Bible verses. So every time I was like, "What's your Bible verse this week?" He's like, "Oh, it's blah blah." I'm like, "Give me the first word." He's like, he'll say it, and I'm like, and I'll finish the whole sentence for him. He's like, "How did you remember that?" I'm like, "I've been through that. I've been through that many, many, many times over." And my favorite thing in the military was I had a Bible prayers book that my aunt had, not my aunt, I'm sorry, a lady from church had given me. It was the best thing she ever gave me, because there were so many times in the military that I had, looked towards God for answers and some things, and it was right there. It was always right there. Amazing. And it's so funny to me how you could be so close with God one day, and then like the next day something could come up and there's a huge division, and then the next day it could be a smaller division, and my relationship with God is very strong, but it is a relationship. You have to work on it. You have to constantly work on it.
I want to ask y'all a question then. Like, when you have those conflicts, do you think it, like, okay, you hearing God, do you think that conflict also could be the devil kind of talking to you as well?
Remember that commercials or those cartoons?
Uh-huh.
It's true.
So how do you flick the motherfucker that you don't want? Like, but he keeps coming back. Like,
he's gonna keep coming back, because the whole job of Satan is to bring about chaos in your life. And what brings about chaos and what brings about stillness in your heart, you can tell. Which one it does, because once you do something wrong, you did wrong.
But don't they say like you need that balance though? Like, don't you, like, does the devil have a necessity?
Not the balance. You have to have the capability of doing wrong, but holding it back is what creates
free will.
Oh, see, there y'all go, dropping them dimes.
So the moral of the story today
is, I need some time.
Hey, that's okay.
He's watch Clay. Next week he's gonna be like, "Yo, I think God talked to me."
Oh, I know. Actually, he already talks to him now, and he knows it, because he didn't heard God speak to his heart many times. I can just tell. The problem is that he's been running.
And
hiding. Yes, because
like Jonah,
there are some significant things. All of us, including you.
Oh, get him on mic! Get him on mic!
You don't get Austin on this one.
You can run, son, but you can't hide.
You run, but you can't hide, Craig.
So that's all I got to say.
Austin doesn't run.
Yes.
Austin doesn't run.
You lucky I got to produce.
That ain't nice.
That was a short joke.
A little too short, wasn't it, brother?
Too short.
Too short.
Not the rapper.
Well, I appreciate you, Clay, very much for coming on. Go ahead and drop whatever's coming up that you need to let us know about and let others know about, so in case they want to get involved.
Well, Lindsay Ralston, if you still hearing, you better come on to the meeting so I can put you to work, lady. Okay. We're always looking for volunteers, because we have a lot of work to do to help heal and bring hope and love back to our community. A lot of outreaches we're doing. Our next one that's coming up again is going to be our job fair, and purpose of that is to provide as many people as possible with jobs to job training to change their lives, and to take care of their families and be role models within their families. And secondly, we're going to be having our annual Easter food basket drive, and we're looking probably to increase it from about 1,400 last year to maybe 2,500 this year, all over the county. Ooh. And hopefully, like we did last year, a ham would be included again this year. And
I love me some ham, boy.
We're going to be doing a lot of more things and resource fairs and community forum on violence and a lot of stop the violence things because so many young people are dying. And it's very heartbreaking and heart-wrenching and sad. And we need everybody to get involved and start using their voice to say enough is enough and becoming active and to influence a person that they know that needs a better direction, and talk to the politicians and tell them enough is enough and that they need to get back to the center instead of going to the right or the left, so that we could make our city a better place to live and to raise a family and work.
Let me reword that in a little better way that matches up with my campaign. Not left, not right, forward.
Yeah, man.
Jose Pio for New York State Assembly.
Let's go.
District 136. That's when I name dropped that one. I did announce last week, so I hope that all the viewers out there in other countries are keeping an eye on us, because I think that there really is going to be, hopefully, some change coming to New York State.
I would love to see you up on there shaking up the motherfuckers in the state assembly, boy. They'd be like, whoa, what the hell did he just say? What?
I'm like, I'm Puerto Rican. You can't talk to me like that.
What?
That's a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna get that license plate.
I am not a Marxist. Who do you think you are, Jose?
Certainly not.
Rattle some cages, man. Rattle some cages.
It's about just bringing our country back. And Clay, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I see some of our commenters have fallen in love with you already. James, I know Jamie. I don't know if he goes by James now. It's up to you. But he said first timer loved it, and Jen also said that she loved this one because of you specifically, Clay.
Great.
And Patricia said, great show as always, gentlemen.
We try.
Hey, we try and put out some information. I think this was much better than last week.
Last week,
a lot less calmer.
I think we would have danced a little bit. He'd have been comfortable. We'd have been TikToking. We should just put up a fucking camera somewhere. Yeah, just TikTok for some.
Maybe we should get Nyame on here for you.
Yo, when I asked, I'm like, yo, to get a like, what does it do for you? Like, is it a rush? Like, oh, I got 100,000.
No, at that point, if you don't get 100,000, it's like, delete.
Right,
Let me do a whole new one.
Man.
Anyways, I don't know why you talking about him. Anyways,
you don't like me, man.
Why you talking about people from? We're gonna bring on a whole other episode. We're gonna bring on our best episodes back.
We need to bring. Up. Did anybody get that? We still got to bring up that book. You ain't shit.
You ain't shit. I don't know if I don't know. We'll see.
He's not gonna come back.
He wants to come back.
So what the fuck is he waiting for? Because last time he was waiting for some morning period. He was kumbayaing everybody. Like, okay, I get it. All right, go out there, console. I get it. Yeah, be supportive.
Yeah, I guess.
But we still got space and opportunity, motherfucker. What's up?
Not about
since we ain't shit. We ain't gonna be shit. Like, what's up?
Next week, our guest for next week. Let me. I should start telling people.
Yeah, that would be nice.
What our guest for the next week is. Our guest next week is Luis Gonzalez. He is straight from Cuba.
Oh,
he's been in America for a while, though. He's a self-made man.
He loves America, don't he?
He loves America.
Oh, fuck.
Loves America.
I love it.
So he's going to come on and speak his truth. So next week, if you want to hear from a straight up
Cubano
immigrant from Cuba that has been a made man and loves this country, definitely come on. Share a like. Clay, thank you again so much for all that you do in the community. And anytime you have any kind of, if you're gonna do like a financial literacy class or something like that, let us know, because I think we can teach these young buckers how to start their own businesses, how to build their own businesses, and
sheep empire.
Yo, if kids knew
actual sheep, not like the people that just followed the CNN
taking a bath in New York.
Yeah,
man.
Gotcha.
Heck yeah,
that
cheap rent down there.
that sounds like a.
I love it.
Yeah, $630 a month.
Hideaway. I'll Airbnb my space out for the day until the crime calms down.
Clay, during your time out there in the community, if you ever come across Kanye West or John Leguizamo, let me know, because I need to get a hold of them. They need to be on the show.
Yay.
You got it. Appreciate it. Austin, play that funky music.
Yeah.